And welcome in to another episode of Sports Talk for You. My name is Aaron Bell. I got my co-host Adam Parker and Chase Gibson with us today. Chris can't be with us, and of course Armand Ely is still on absence with the passing of his wife, so we're going to give him time before he joins us again. We are going to get to Major League Baseball today. We finally got good news yesterday that Major League Baseball is looking to start back up on July 4th. Independence Day, God bless America. And of course it will be without fans, which everyone pretty much expected. And the leagues are going to be different. They're going to go with spring training leagues, and it looks like the NL is going to adapt to the designated hitters. So let's get on this topic, and how do you guys feel about this?
I like
Well,
it.
go ahead, Adam.
Oh, okay, so I like it. I'm just glad a sport is going to be coming back. If it leads the way for the other sports, I'm excited about that. I figured it makes sense to somewhat start in July. I was hoping it'd be a little earlier than that. But, the NBA in 99 had a lockout season and did half its season. So why not baseball? So I think it'll be an interesting setup, to say the least, but I'm excited baseball's back.
Yeah, definitely. I think, hearing the news of baseball being back on the air gives America, something to be excited about. We were wanting to know, are there going to be sports this year? Are there going to be fans? Of course, for right now, it doesn't look like it. But, just driving on Kellogg, down here, we're driving past the stadium and seeing Wichita on the stadium. I mean, that yesterday just got me excited about baseball again. And I'm just excited to see what it's going to look like. Are they going to be putting some type of music into the stands, to make it seem like a crowd's there? Yeah. And then again, this kind of turns to like football too. Since baseball is going to go to no fans, is football going to pursue that as well?
But see, that's the thing. Baseball would be much easier to play without fans, but football, I just feel like you got to have fans, even if it's only 50% capacity, they say. Even if they're only allowed to sell 50% of their tickets, you still have fans in the stadium. I mean, Chargers don't have to worry about that. Heck, they're pretty much give all their tickets away to the opposing team. So Chargers and Raiders don't have to worry about fan attendance this year because they never get fans anyways. But I think football at least make it 50%, because football, it's just going to be hard to play with no fans.
The hard thing about that is you have all these season ticket holders, and if you're a season ticket holder, how are you going to allow only them go to half of the games?
Yeah.
So that's something that you have to look at as well.
Yeah. Well, I saw anyways that even if they say no fans, they're going to automatically refund, and they'll get to keep their seat for the next year, which will be nice. So.
Yeah.
My main thing is, how are these players, Major League, the MLB PA, how are they going to handle this? Because these players are going to have to take salary cuts. And Mike Trout already said he's not going to like that.
Oh, I don't think anybody's going to like that, taking a salary cut. I mean, you look at the umpires; they've had to take a salary cut already, and they're not making nearly as much as some of these MLB players are making. So I feel for the umpires right now as well, for them dipping into their pockets and taking money away from them.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that they might have to take a little bit of a cut, but who in America hasn't taken a pay cut?
Exactly.
I mean,
teachers are taking a cut to do more work. That's the problem. I mean, they're not really taking a cut, but they're doing more work for the same pay. But it's just it's going to be like that in sports. I mean, I'm sure when soccer comes back, it's probably going to have a shortened season. Those guys are going to take cuts. I mean, it's how it's going to be from here on out. And it sounds like this thing could go on through 2021 too, especially in the fall if it comes back. It's like that in the fall.
Right. But, I'm hoping, I'm being optimistic that it will be Less. I mean, I'm just hoping that it won't come to that. I hope that'll be sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
and not drag out. But we'll see, and hopefully they'll allow some fans in the stands. Maybe start with a quarter, if they don't feel half as
Well,
um,
same thing goes
around
with
out.
college because they said if college universities go to online classes in the fall, then there won't be no online or no won't be no fall sports. And University of California just came out today saying that they're going to online classes in the fall. So does that mean California won't be having fall sports?
See, and that doesn't make sense to me because you, you've offered online courses before, from universities. And to act like this is something new is ridiculous. To not play sports because of this when you have offered some sort of online classes before this pandemic. I
Exactly.
mean, if you were so worried about it, why why didn't you cancel sports beforehand? Why did it take a pandemic to, oh no, we're going to online? Uh-oh, we need to cancel all sporting events. Like that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. So I hope they don't overreact with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, it's so tough because this is something new for all of us. And it's taken a while for us to get used to it and trying to figure out what's the best thing to do for everyone. I think that's where we're at right now. Is baseball going to be played until, I know they're showing probably about half the season now, but I mean, are they going to play all of those games for half season, or what does that look like? And it's just it's crazy that we've had to come to this to just see the difference of what we had to where we're at now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah,
the
for
thing
for
too
sure.
is college basketball, NBA. I mean, that's going to be when this COVID-19 is going to shoot right back up again is when basketball starts. So I'm not
Mhm.
even I'm not having faith right now that basketball is even going to be played the way this society's going.
Yeah, I'm just thankful they don't treat the flu like a pandemic,
Yeah, I
you
mean, that's
know?
the thing. It's like we've had the flu for how many? I mean, it's just because we have a vaccine for it. I mean, once
Right,
there's a vaccine for COVID, they're not going to take it as bad, but
right.
just not
Now,
having a vaccine.
are they going to get rid of stealing because you don't want to have that contact? As somebody's sliding into the base and you're getting close, you're within that 6 foot distance of their face.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. Are you going to not be able to slide into bases?
Yeah.
The first baseman has to stand 6 feet off the bag when he catches the ball, then the guy will be out. I mean,
Hey, and if coaches are going to argue with the they're going to just hold up signs from the dugout that are coming out.
well, be like
well,
Aaron.
So,
What did Aaron Boone say in that one game? I forgot what he said.
oh,
But man,
savages, my team is savage or whatever.
yeah, he'll be doing that from the dugout.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
and I still
noticed
don't.
just like on my kids' little league games, they're not allowed. They've sent an email out saying they're not allowing the coaches to go up to the umpires. That they have to confront them within that 6 foot distance. So I'm like,
We're gonna
you
see
know,
pointing going on like this and 6 foot apart, and
yes,
it's crazy, man.
Hey, you know how they point their fingers at the umpires, right? I think it'd be interesting if they actually got, a pointer that teachers use in the classroom. They bring those out and just use that.
Oh, they'll just grab the
So,
baseball bat or they'll just grab the hit stick.
there you go.
if you've been into like Sam's or Dylan's, they have those little shields in front of them.
Yeah.
Having that in front.
They'll just hold it up with their hand like the old umpires protection. But yes,
Exactly.
let's.
Hey, I have a question for you guys. Bryce Harper a few days ago talked about baseball in the Olympics, and I believe it was was it 2000 that they got rid of baseball in the Olympics, or like 2004? It was one of those years, And anyway, he proposed, do you think if the Olympics brought it back, do you think it should be the amateurs who go and represent the Olympics, or do you think that it should be the MLB All-Stars?
I think it should be amateurs because you're just taking away major league. I mean, you're taking those players away from their teams in the regular season. And my thing is, owners and coaches aren't going to like that. I mean, it's like the NHL, wasn't it the Olympics? They picked a whole bunch of those young hockey college kids. Go out and get college baseball players. They're playing summer league. I mean, pick the best college baseball players. I think they're able to compete around the world.
Well, could we do the replacements just like what they did on what was that, Keanu Reeves movie?
Yeah. I mean, just, go pick former players that are in jail that could use some time outside of jail that could play baseball or something.
Right.
Don't take these players away from their teams and make their coaches and managers mad.
Right. My theory is this: the NBA, basketball, and the Olympics used to be college, and then of course the '92 Dream Team came along is when they switched it from college to professional because they got tired of all these quote unquote pro players from European countries beating up on the college kids, so that's why they changed it. But also too, I could semi see them doing this because who's that Angels pitcher, Otoni or whatever? Yeah. He's from like Japan, I believe. And so he's able to go and represent his country. So honestly, if they really want to sustain baseball in the Olympics, I think they have to semi go to this, but they could make it voluntary for the all-stars to want to join or not, because he really wanted to join. Bryce Harper did. And I think it'd be definitely interesting to say the least, to see what kind of plays out and who would be willing to go and who not. But I think it'd be interesting if they were to do a mix of college and professionals, at least the professionals who want to volunteer and play it, and if the owners okay it. So that's just my little take. I think it'd be interesting.
My thing is do like they do the NBC World Series and bring the retired players in here, get the guys that just retired, the 37, 38-year-olds that just retired, and put them on the USA team.
Yeah,
I'd like to go watch Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire. I'd definitely go watch those guys.
I mean, heck, Mike Tyson's 51 and he has videos out of him boxing.
Yeah, for sure.
The dude still has it. I mean, Jamie Moyer pitched till he was 51, 52, I think. There's guys out there that still want to play at 40 years old. I mean, look at Brady. That guy's moves around like an elephant, but he's still playing. So one other thing we wanted to get to was, of course,
it'll just be interesting.
Yeah. Chase brought up the Sammy Watkins is an alien comment before the show. So we want to get to that. And boy, this has just gone south ever since he came out with this statement and saying how partying too hard and drugs and all that just ruined his career. Chase, I'm speechless on this.
Yeah, I was too when I read it. It came from Bleacher Report, and having him talking to one of the reporters about, he was the only one that's being selfless of taking the pay cuts, and how he's demanding, that Mahomes throws the ball a certain amount of times to him and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, I can see some of those points, But then he talks about, as he's walking by in the locker room and one of the coaches completely ignores him and does a 180 and walks back the other way. And, how he said he's actually seen someone get abducted by an alien, and he sees himself as an alien, which I don't know. I don't know how many drugs you have to smoke or take in order to see yourself as an alien.
Hey, he might change his last name to Ocho Cinco. You never
Oh
know.
gosh, yeah. I mean, I hope it's some of this is false, but it's just way out there that for them to just release that, and it just makes you think like, you know, has this guy been quarantined so much that
Yeah,
he's seeing himself
he's
as an alien?
losing it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. And the fact
Well, it'll give a whole new meaning to ET phone home. You
that
know,
He's definitely home.
well, then I guess he came out with a statement saying that he told his wife that he would get 114 yards in the AFC Championship game and that he would score that touchdown. And he's like, "Well, I was right." I'm like, "Now, did he really say that, or is he just saying that because he said he was alien?" I mean, it's like, who do you believe here?
Right.
I believe the aliens.
Area 51, I've never seen what's inside. I can't affirm or deny what's inside of there.
And
Yeah.
I always thought Area 51 was in Nevada.
Well, you got the Reno Ace or the whatever AAA, or no, not AAA. It's yeah, you got the aliens there in Reno.
Yep.
So another thing I wanted to get to: the Jets signed Logan Ryan today. The Chiefs were looking at him because that would have been a heck of a nice pickup to add to that defense. But with salary cap issues, Chiefs just can't afford another big player with salary cap right now. But the
No,
Jets had
I think they're looking at a guard that the Saints just
the
released.
Saints. He's Wharton or Walton or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I think
That
he's
would be
wanted
nice.
$7 million a year. And Kansas City, they really wanted to go after Andreas Pete, who was one of their tackles over there, but he re-signed with the Saints. So I know they're definitely looking hard at this guy from the Saints that they just released. But will they do it? I don't know. I know the doctor just redid his contract, and they drafted a tackle. But I mean, if we could shore up that offensive line to give Mahomes a little bit more time, I think it's well worth it.
And now, actually, I wanted to get to this too because I saw a poll on Twitter today came out saying which one of the 2020 quarterback draft class, which quarterback will succeed the most. And surprisingly, Joe Burrow was down at the bottom just because the fact that, he didn't really play all 4 years at college and people think that he's just going to be one of those. And surprisingly, I believe Herbert was near the top and Tua was near the top as well. Because Tua just signed a 4-year, 30 million rookie contract with the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that he's going to start right away and Fitzpatrick's going to see the bench? I mean, to sign a contract like that, I don't see him starting on the bench.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't see Burrow near the bottom. I'm a Burrow fan. I like him a lot. I think that he brings a lot to that team. Now, offensive line, that's going to hurt, but the way that he competed in those games against Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, he played in those big games, but he didn't have an interception in any of those games.
Yeah.
So I like him, and I think I think he'll be just fine.
But here's my thing. Nobody's talking about this Eason kid. And I believe after Phillip Rivers' 1 year in Indianapolis, I think Eason is going to beat out Jacoby Brissett. Brissett just does not impress me at all.
No, he's had his chance. I know they let Brissett play there the last 2 years, and obviously if they thought they were comfortable with him, I think they would have kept him in line. But they had to do something different because they have a great offensive line. They're probably one of the top 2 offensive lines in the NFL, but Brissett didn't really show anything with a great offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, if you were to go down that list, Tua to me is a little bit of an injury-prone guy, so I don't know if he would technically last. I hope he does. I never wish injury on anybody, but with his sudden injury prone with the hip, the ankles previously, it makes you kind of question it. And then you got Joe Burrow playing in a division where at least two of those teams have top 10 defenses every year in the Ravens and Pittsburgh. So, and his offensive line, like you guys said, is not really up to par. So it makes you wonder, if they do invest in an offensive line, could he be successful with a few more weapons? Sure. But that's a wait and see. I mean, I would cast my vote to him per se. But the other one, Herbert, I don't trust an Oregon Duck quarterback with Mariota and I forget some of the other ones.
Hey, Mariota's going to beat Derek Carr out, man. Come on.
Yeah, whatever. Highly doubt that. But anyway, no. So, and who does that leave on that poll? I think it was Love from the Eagles, and
No, Love is with the Packers. Love is the Packers.
Oh, wait, sorry. Love's the Packers. Who Hurts?
Jalen Hurts is Eagles, which I believe if Carson Wentz struggles, is
sorry. I was thinking of Hurts, not Love. Thank you for correcting me on that one. But I could semi-see Hurts. I mean, if Wentz goes down, maybe,
Well, I believe if Wentz has a bad couple of games early in the year, do they try Hurts out? I mean –
well, the thing with Wentz is he's constantly injured, at least the last 2 years. So it'll be interesting. And plus, the division, the NFC East division is not as, I would say, as prominent as the Joe Burrow AFC division, the North. And, I mean, Tua, that division is kind of in a rebuild, has been for a while. So it'll all be interesting. But, in Love, that's just up in the air for me because obviously he had a great season with weapons at Utah State. Take away the weapons, and he did not have that good of a season his senior season. And every expert would tell you that. So is he another one of those Dak Prescotts that need a ton of weapons to be successful, or can he actually make it work?
Yeah.
So
now here's a question. Who was the last big quarterback to come out of the state of Utah?
Who was Colin Kaepernick?
No.
Oh, Alex Smith?
Alex Smith.
Yeah.
2006 draft.
2006 draft.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the video of him?
Yes.
On ESPN?
Yes.
That was insane what he went through.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, here the guy is, done everything that he possibly can, took Patrick Mahomes under his wing, gladly. I mean, he showed him how to be a professional athlete, even though he already knew that from his dad, but just knowing how to run the locker room and things like that. Very professional guy. I have so much respect for Alex Smith and what he did for Kansas City to bring them back to where they were at. But, for him to go out like the way he did, and I'm like, oh, God, your heart goes out to someone.
He says he wants to play again, but I just don't see that. I mean, you take one bad hit and that leg's amputated. I mean.
Well, we were talking about a year ago, that he was that close to having his leg amputated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he should just be grateful that he's walking upright and just enjoy that time with your family.
Just think about your kids, man. You don't want to walk around with a prosthetic leg. Just keep your leg and retire. I mean, you made enough money throughout your career. Hopefully he saved it all up. And so I wish he could have got a Super Bowl ring. That's one quarterback that deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he literally almost died. I mean, forget the amputation for a sec. The guy almost died, but also too, I like Alex Smith, and had he not sustained that injury, I believe the Washington Redskins would have won the division. I believe it was 2 years ago.
2018.
And that's when the Cowboys backed into winning that championship, that division championship, because I believe the Redskins had about a 2-3 game lead up on everybody until with about 5 to 6 games left. It could even be 4.
Yeah.
And that's when the injury happened, and then the Cowboys were able to back their way into that win and go to the playoffs. Yeah, he's a great player, you know. I mean, it's up to the guy if he wants to go into that position to hurt his leg or try to rebound from it all. That's up to him. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I was his family, I'd be a little hesitant on that because it's more than just an injury. I mean, it was life-threatening.
Well, just think about the money. I mean, that you have to spend and all that. It's just crazy. But we're thankful that he's okay, and hopefully he'll be better off now. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So, and I'm just going to make one random point here before I forget. We are not going to talk about Dak Prescott until July. Okay. Till July, because, Jerry loves bringing the Cowboys into conversation, keeping it in there every day. And quite frankly, I'm just tired of these
Hey,
talking heads.
Dak is just trusting the process. Okay.
Yeah. The spirit of Jason Garrett compelled him. Yeah.
Now, who was it that came out this week and said that Dak just needs to take the money?
Was that Johnny Manziel? Show me the money.
Yeah. No, I can't remember if it was Namath
or was it Dan Fouts?
Oh God, don't get me started on that. Dan Fouts, no. Booger McFarland, probably.
Yeah. No, but Dak Prescott, you know what he's doing? He's waiting for Mahomes because he wants to see the Mahomes deal and what he's going to get, and then he wants to, go ahead and top that on.
God, he's nowhere near Mahomes' contract. He's nowhere near worth that. I wouldn't pay that guy $10 million.
Dude, he's not even worth Monopoly money.
Nope.
I mean,
not even the highway robbery Monopoly money that the guy
no. And
stealing.
You know what? We just offended all Monopoly players, so I'm sorry.
Here's 2 words for Dak Prescott: garbage stats. Garbage stats. That's all he got last year. When that team was down by 20, that's when he got all of his yards.
Yeah.
Defenses played prevent, gave him the short passes, and Amari Cooper did the rest.
Exactly. And it's funny how when they win, it's Dak Prescott's doing. But when they lose, it's the team's fault. It's like, no, you can't do that, because I've seen it time and time again where you needed a play from him to either make or break the game, and he ends up throwing ducks, throwing it 5 feet in front of the guy, over the guy, or just guts it in the ground, and then
it's the same thing with Mahomes. When he lost that Rams game, people were saying, well, Mahomes lost the Rams game on Monday Night Football because he threw 2 interceptions. The dude put up 51 points. Sorry, 7 of that was by the defense. But a quarterback should not be blamed for a loss when they put up more than 40 points. I mean,
hey,
it's simple.
You better be careful, because that's going into Tony Romo territory.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wanted to blame that guy when he put up a huge amount of points,
Yeah.
Oh, but it's always his fault, It's not his fault that he didn't have a defense, and he had a running back for 1 year in his career, and that was DeMarco Murray, and then the year after they traded him to the Tennessee Titans, So it's just it just cracks me up, because Dak Prescott will not get you a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. And he should not even be waiting for Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, because they've gone farther in the playoffs. And, I don't know. And I just find it kind of ironic that Dak's one playoff win actually was not from his arm. It was from his legs when he ran it in against Seattle. So that should tell you something right there.
Adam, do you think that if DeMarco Murray wouldn't have went to Tennessee, you think he would have still been playing?
Yes, I do, because there was no one behind him that would take him. Then he got to Tennessee, and then they drafted Derrick Henry and all that.
Yep.
you know?
That's all right.
So,
He's coaching high school football now. Or sorry, he's coaching college football, assistant coach.
yep. Yep.
All
So,
right. That's going to wrap it up for our show today. Go ahead and please like and subscribe to our channel. We have many more shows to come, and hopefully here in the future we can get Armand back. So we're still praying for him and hoping that he's making it through what he's going through. So that's going to wrap it up, and we will look to have another show probably later this week. If not, we will have one next week and probably talk more NFL as the season's coming closer, only 3 months to go. So, and baseball is only a month and a half away. So we're excited about that. So we will see you guys later and have a good day.